Well, welcome everybody to my first Let's Play, and the subject of this video is Firefly's Stronghold 2, a game that's been around a few years, but one reason for that is that the publisher needed quite a time to actually make it work. In its original version it was completely useless practically, and a lot of people hated it, but once they got their stuff together it became quite a decent game. What we are gonna look at today is the Peace campaign, and I'm
sending you on an errand right to the edge of our territory.
Where we let the king talk.
Have done little to alleviate the many problems beset on these lands.
Just so we are clear, next time I catch you withholding money, I will be cooking more than your box.
I have not heard from Sir Edwin in a while, but sources inform me that he has taken to extorting money from the peasantry. Sir Grey spends most of his time sleeping.
What was that you say? Oh.
And as for Sir William, when he is not away on some crusade or other, he spends most of his time in the capital courting Lady Seren. I can only hope that you can do something here to turn this county around and provide a profit for the royal treasury. For many a year, ships have fallen foul to the treacherous waters along this coastline. Your first task will be to build a warning beacon to help prevent any further shipwrecks. I am assigning Tom Simpkins to you, my trusted scribe. He will help you on your way.
Greetings, my lord. My name is Simpkins. Welcome to your new castle.
Yeah, so you heard the king and you heard our annoying little adjutant. I have no idea why they gave him such an annoying voice, really. Basically, we are at the start of the Peace campaign, and it is basically just a very, very long tutorial which introduces the different economic aspects and some light fighting throughout its course. And you start the game paused for two reasons. First of all, we have to get an overview where we are and what we have at our disposal, and I want to avoid that the monks steal all the wood, because they take the wood from the stockpile to build their beacon here, which is one of the goals of this mission, and we don't want them to take it all, because we don't have that much of it at the start. Only 18 units. We are going to increase that number slightly. We stay in paused mode, and we erase this fence for a very simple reason. We don't need protecting, as the herd of deer is basically the most menacing thing we are going to encounter. And you see the door was left standing. That's because that are objects that actually pay back part of the resources that have been used to build them. That's where I have to unpause, delete it, pause again, and now we have 28 units of wood, and that's exactly what we need to get started here. We built the granary, which will store all our food resources, and we built 3 apple farms. Try to align them properly so we don't waste building space. Building space is quite limited throughout this campaign, so we will have to do something about it, and what we are going to do is first place some saw pits. The wood is sufficient for 4 of them, and we let the game start. We had 8 peasants to start with, and 7 of them are now gainfully employed. The 8th one will get a job very soon.
My liege, I have assigned
On
some
top of
to
that,
work on the beacon. They will take the wood they need from our stockpile.
yeah, we already noticed that. Okay, I added 2 more stockpiles for a very simple reason. What we are going to do, and what
Granary
the
stocks are very low, sir.
designers of
Extra rations, lovely.
the campaign didn't really plan us to do. Basically, those 8 people would have been enough to do this mission, and it would probably be over within 5 minutes. But we are going to start deforesting the area. To avoid being stopped in that, we hike up the rations to double, although we will not produce enough apples in the beginning, because once that bar is full, if 30 units are in the granary, the mission will be over, and we don't want that. So let them start. As you see, the woodcutters do their job, and we'll start to deliver the first wood, and we will immediately use that to increase the population of our town, and therefore have more workforce.
Our granary is empty and our popularity will soon start to fall. We should build some apple farms nearby.
Well, what does that look like? Anyway, I've added a hut, which gives us 8 new workers, 7 saw pits, and for the one guy who was left over earlier,
Your popularity is falling.
he's now an apple farmer. Our popularity is falling because food is a bit rare, so I set it back to normal rations momentarily. That will raise popularity slightly.
Run ashore. We must finish that beacon soon before any more lives are lost.
2,
Can't
3,
finish that there, my lord.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another set of wood choppers. And so it goes on. We build more hovels and wood choppers until we have 48 people in our village. Up the rations a bit, so the granary will not be full earlier than we want to.
Your popularity is rising.
Okay, now we have a whole wood industry going. Those of a eco-mentalist disposition will now be fairly scandalized that I'm hacking down all the trees, but in this case it is unfortunately necessary, as trees take up space and we need space for later on. It will produce more wood than we will ever need, and that's the reason for the additional stockpiles. They will fill up quite quickly, and we have to employ a bit of trickery to avoid them overflowing, but I'll show that later. This little group here is important because here are, or were, 2 trees bang smack in the middle of the neighboring estate, and we are going to inherit that later on in the campaign, and it's better to have them out of the way early, and they will actually start chopping away at this bit of forest, even if most of it is in the neighboring estate. The resource gatherers are not limited to our own estate. As you can see, chopping down the trees takes a bit of time, as once a tree fell, it is dissolved in something like 4 or 5 of those logs, and each one of them has to be processed one after the other. So wood chopper collects a log, goes to the saw pit, makes it into plywood, goes to the stockpile, comes back, gathers the next log, and you can see that takes a bit of time. And the nasty thing is, if you stop before all the logs are collected, they will stay there, and you can't build over them, and you have to wait later on that some wood chopper collects it, and that can waste quite a bit of space, of which we don't have enough in the first place.
Is finished and alight, sire.
As you can see, the monks have now done their job. The beacon is going, and basically that would be it for the mission. But
Our food stocks are dwindling, my liege.
we need more apples. We can now set the rations back to normal. About 2.5 years time for the wood choppers to do their job is enough, as we will have 2 more missions in which they can clean up the place. As you can see, there is one
Good day to you.
solitary peasant left. I did that deliberately, as we will need 9 peasants for the next mission, and
I will farm your job soon.
when we build a new hut, we'll only get 8 of them. So I left 1 over. Here you see something that will become important in one of the next missions. Wolves.
Excellent work. You have no idea how much this means to the economy of our country. Now you have safeguarded our shipping lines, and I can move you on to nobler duties.
Well, that went faster than I expected. So, as you can see, we've done the first mission, and we will see for the next one. Bye bye.